My first critique is going to start at the front, and that's going to be my suppressor. Now, there's nothing wrong with the Bushwhacker 46. Like I said earlier, I do enjoy the suppressor, and it does suppress the 300 blackout round very proficiently. But the suppressor is pretty big, it's pretty heavy, and it's not necessarily meant for a 30 cal weapon system. So it'll work, but we are kind of trading off a little bit of weight and bulk, and maybe losing a little bit of that suppressing capability, just because it does have a bigger bore than 30 cal. Now, in a perfect world, I would be running a 30 cal dedicated can, but the world ain't perfect, so this is what we're going with. Another critique I actually have for myself on this build is actually going to be the barrel length. When I was doing this build, I kind of set it up for both home defense as well as hog hunting. For a hunting purpose, I did want a little bit of a longer barrel to just get even better of a ballistic coefficient at the end when I'm hunting hogs or any other kind of medium to small game. If I were to go back and redo this build and I wanted an AR15 and 300 blackout for home defense and home defense only, I probably would go with a little bit of a shorter barrel, maybe a 7.5, maybe even a 5-inch barrel. And again, I feel very comfortable with the 10.5 barrel length. I know I have a great ballistic coefficient, but I think I could actually get away with a shorter barrel and still be okay, and that would limit some of the weight and bulk of the gun, maybe allow me to maneuver corners a little bit easier. And I think the final critique I'm going to give myself for this build is actually going to be the trigger. I bought the Franklin Armory binary pretty early off in my firearm shenanigans, and it's a fun trigger. The semi-auto mode works okay. Like I said earlier, I do think it has a little bit of a better trigger pull and reset than a mil-spec AR-15 trigger, but it's not anything incredibly fancy. To be honest, I would never use this in binary mode if it was a true home defense situation. The binary mode just is a little too finicky and jams a little too much, and I would just not feel comfortable running that if it was a life or death case. And I probably really should do this, is just go ahead and throw a Geisley trigger in this. And to be incredibly honest, I do think I could actually run a Geisley trigger faster than the binary trigger anyway, so I would really like to upgrade this trigger at some point. But overall, even with the little critiques that I've given you, I do really like this setup for a home defense weapon system.